Hey guys, what is up? Well, it's Specialist here. The Specialist. Oh, besides, a few other things. So, something kind of dawned on me, or basically, well, since I do uploads once in a while on packages and unboxings, I figured I'd kind of raise a little awareness on something now. A lot of you know that I have tried to raise money. A lot of you have called me out on the dumbest things in the world, whether hey, I'm a scam, blah blah. The awareness that I'm going to raise is tobacco products. I feel like the only way to honestly tell you straightforward is by personal experience that for those of you guys who smoke cigarettes versus people that vape, there is a lot of debacle about this subject and the reason why and what's going on, and the health hazards between apparently both products, whether it's real cigarettes or whether you're vaping. For me, I started off, and I'm going to say this because it's not my own personal experience, and for quite a few years actually, on 3 different products, both on all 3 actually, containing cigarettes, or nicotine and chemicals and all other shit. In any case, so the perspective that I'm going to give you is from experience, basically for me from a young and early age all the way on up. From getting it from friends to, waiting until I'm that age to actually buy cigarettes to, chewing products, or dip as some people call it, all the way up to vaping, my first vape pen, so on and so on. So I'm going to basically say this, and honestly, there is a difference between the two, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that are fighting for people that vape because, it's a easier product to use. There is 4 chemicals or 4 ingredients that get put into your vape or your juice, e-juice, juice, vape juice even. But the only way I can honestly explain what I have gone through and done, and the experience that I have been given between, not using cigarettes, not using chew, to just using vape, and actually literally being proud of myself and where I am with the vape. It has grown a lot since I started vaping. It was kind of a weird factor, but I was tired of smoking cigarettes, and I started off young. I was in my teens, and when I first tried it, it was pretty ridiculous. I wasn't really expecting a lot to happen, and when it did, it was like, holy crap. Being at a young age, you really are under the influence, and peer pressure is one of the biggest things, and it sucks in every way, shape, and form. And that can go with drugs as well, which really fucking suck even worse. But that's a whole nother ball game and ballpark in general, and that I'm not even going to tread down. So, but the topic is tobacco and vape. What's the difference between the two? Well, for one, cigarettes gives you nicotine, obviously, and there is no nic level. There is no amount of nicotine or milligrams in general. You just get nicotine and chemicals. From what I've read and from what I've known and from what I have seen, the amount of chemicals that are cancerous, deadly, hazardous, like hazardous, get into your system as you inhale, taking a drag, enjoying the nicotine or whatever it is, but enjoying that cigarette. You become addicted to it. The chemicals don't really help too much either, and it's hard. It's beyond ridiculously hard. And there's patches, there's pills, there's God only knows what else is out there for you to try. And I do say try to quit smoking. You get tired of feeling sick, you get tired of getting sick, you get tired of not being able to taste. Your health pretty much goes down the drain, slowly goes down the drain. Or, well, some people are prone to it. Younger people, including kids, and I do mean children, like, babies, infants, toddlers, so on and so on, have to deal with the cigarette smoke, secondhand smoke, and it's horrible. They choke on it, they can't breathe. You're basically suffocating a child. It's the only way I can put it. And it hurts beyond belief, because you're wondering as to why there's so many health hazards and everything else to cigarettes. It's the amount of chemicals and shit that they put into it, and it's an abundance amount. Over 25,000 chemicals go into cigarettes. Okay, and it's just not cool in any way, shape, or form. People die from cancer, people die from cigarettes, people still continue to smoke cigarettes even though they know it's hazardous. And it becomes difficult. Then when people try to quit smoking, either patch, pill, or whatever is out there, if they're not getting enough nicotine, or if the patch isn't high enough, for instance, they're going to be really agitated, irritable, disgusting, horrible person that you don't really want to be around. And that's because it shifts the attitude. Their whole demeanor changes because they aren't getting the nicotine. It's horrible and it sucks. It makes you feel like dog shit because this person's trying to quit, but certain things, whether it's what you say to them, how you say it, what you eat, what you don't eat, all that, certain things kind of trigger their attitude, and it's like they just ripped your fucking head off and shit down your throat. You said is something, or you scraped a plate wrong, or it could be numerous amounts of things. And smoking is really honestly detrimental to your health beyond belief. It's hurtful in a lot of different ways. As much as I'm not a doctor, and I will attest to that, I am not a doctor, just in my experience alone, I'm glad I quit smoking. I have gone from smoking cigarettes to doing chew as well. Chew is an alternative to tobacco. The only difference is, instead of inhaling, you're just putting it right here, or right here. And it sits there for a long period of time. So, in essence, as much as you may think you're doing a better job of chewing, well, here's the sad part. You go from inhaling something that can't be seen, and it goes directly into your lungs. Now, your lungs is behind your ribcage, which is inside of your body. Nobody can honestly see what's going on in there, which is understandable. You don't want to really show anybody. When you switch to chewing, it's a whole different ballgame. People have to see you smile. It affects your mouth and it affects your teeth. And gums become very unhealthy. You create a hole in your mouth, which is basically where it shows that you put your chew, and you let it sit there, and you spit every so often. I have done it as well. I have done both fine cut, long cut, and short cut, I think was the other one. I have done Grizzly was my choice of chew, but I had to stop doing that too. When I was able to put down cigarettes completely and chew, even though it took a long period of time to do so, I went to vaping. Now, a lot of you guys might say, well, vaping isn't any healthier and blah, blah, blah. Well, I can actually count the amount of ingredients that are in a vape liquid, vape juice in general, compared to a cigarette, which I have no idea what they put in it, minus nicotine. It's the only chemical that goes into a cigarette that I can account for, but there's no milligram to it. It just continuously keeps you addicted, so you continuously smoke. You guys can go and spend as much as you want on those patches and pills. I went to vape and I started off with a vape pen. Okay. And the nic I started off with, or nicotine level, or milligram that I started off with, was high. It was in the 20s. 20s or 30s. High enough. And the vape pen was acted just like a cigarette did. All I had to do was hold the button, inhale, and then exhale. And I did it with my lungs. And it worked pretty well. The cool part is that I didn't have to really wait on anything. And I used the vape pen for quite a long time. I did not pick up cigarettes. I didn't pick up chew. I actually officially stopped smoking and chewing a long time ago. I have been vaping for over 3 years. 4 years. Over 4 years. Okay. And I have succeeded at not picking up a cigarette. Here's the cool part. Since I quit smoking, since I quit chewing, my gums have gotten healthier. I don't have any holes in my mouth whatsoever, except for my teeth. And that's just regular cavities. My lungs, I could breathe. Fresh air. My nose, my ears, my mouth do not get clogged to where I can't taste anything. I'm able to taste, smell, everything. And a lot of times I regret smelling because some shit can be really fucking funky. Ooh. I've quit smoking and chewing because of vaping. And I'm proud of it, honestly. A lot of you guys might not be able to afford a vape pen or a vape pod. And I can honestly tell you that it's not as expensive as you might think. There's always replacements, and there's always juice, and juice will always be around. The VG, PG, nicotine, and flavor. The 4 ingredients that are in a vape juice, which I have just listed, don't ever change. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm wrong on that. The only thing that changes in the vape juice is the nicotine level and the flavor that you want. That's it. The PG and the VG, yeah, they kind of do change, but it's the ratio. 50-50 with salts, which is a high nic, okay? Then you have 70-30, which is normal. And then you have 80-20. Each one of these is used for a different type of vape, or, well, mod, as some would call it, with a tank, an atomizer. It's kind of hard to honestly find out which one you want to use. But when you pick it up and you start using it, and you're using it regularly, it takes probably a little over a week, maybe 2 weeks at max, to get your taste back. And that means brushing your teeth, obviously, and scrubbing the shit out of your tongue. And making sure you scrub it. Everything starts to clear up after a little bit of time. And you don't get sick as often. I don't get sick that much. I really don't. And it's actually kind of shocking that I don't get sick, but I know I'm healthy. You know, and it really honestly doesn't take that much for someone who can possibly get sick and that are using cigarettes compared to somebody who's been vaping. I don't get sick that often, and even though I am healthy, and you know, I've been doing it for a long period of time, I'm going to stick with it, and I've been sticking with it. I enjoy it. Once in a while, if I decide to, I can upgrade my tank, which You do have the access of doing it with certain vape products, but you cannot do it with a pen, or at least some pens you can't switch out the tank. They are set to a certain wattage, and that tank or coil is the only thing you're able to use. Some of them might be interchangeable, others might not. But like I said, for those of you guys who want to quit smoking, want an alternative to steer away from the chemicals, get a pod or a pen with a high nicotine milligram, 30, 40, or 50. A lot of you guys might mention, well, what about a Juul? What about a Juul? Yeah, you can go Juul, but Juuls only have just so many flavors, don't they? And they only last just so long. And then you still have to get juice. And some of the Juuls out there, I don't think are really reusable. And if they are, they're not for very long, which means that you still have to buy little pods. Okay? So, either way you're looking at it, you still got to spend money on it. And if it's easier for you to use a high nic, then stick with it. Use a high nic. When your body says you're ready to lower yourself down a nic, don't lower yourself tremendously. So if you're starting off with, let's say, for example, 52 milligram nic. For those of you guys, that's good for you starting to quit. You want to quit? There you go. It's a high milligram. Okay? Just make sure you get the juice to do it, and then just charge your device. That's it. You'll get the juice, or you'll get the vape in the nic right then and there, and you have any flavor that you want. And there's a lot of them out there. Just make sure you choose wisely. When you continue to use a Juul or a pod or a pen, whichever, and you start to lower your nicotine level down, that's when I do mean down as in, like, you have to be within, let's say, you have to drop it more than 30 or 40 milligrams. So you have to be around 10 to 12 milligram nic for the VG and the PG to change. After that, it's easy. It really honestly is. The only thing that's really costly is your kit, and sometimes you can even save on a kit, and the kit comes with everything. So you really don't have to buy anything extra. Unless you get a mod, which is a little box that requires batteries. If you don't get a mod, then you just got your Juul or pod or whatever it is. All you have to do is charge it up. That's it. The battery's already in it. You don't have to change anything else. I just figured I'd let you guys know that as much as I do vape, I have been smoke free for quite a long time. I've not picked up a cigarette. I do vape. And by the way, there is a huge difference between the smoke and the vape. And as much as they both look the same, the consistency isn't. It's completely different. So, I know a lot of you probably really don't care, really don't give two shits, blah blah, whatever the case may be. I just figured I'd voice my own opinion and let you guys know. If you're willing to quit, well then, there are your options. It takes a little bit of money, juice, and that's pretty much about it. The rest is up to you. So, if you ever need any help or tips or whatever it is, just let me know. Write in the video, in the description, down below. Or, comments in that video. Oh, Jesus, I'm like out of it. If you have any comments, make sure you put it in the video down below. It's that simple, that easy. For those of you guys, you know who I am. For everyone that's new to your channel, I'm Specialist. I will see you guys later.